I think it looks good. Kind of. I'm alive. Hi, whoever's here. Hello. I'm all by myself. Top, is it top chat that you want to be in? No, you want to be in live chat, not top chat. I should know better than that. Well, as I'm waiting, gonna look at this book. Hello, number 2. Welcome to Hug Day. This is weird. Hi, Sophia. Hi, Pam. Good to see you all. I hope everybody's on the mend in the Safia household. Were you able to do the Nick lesson yesterday, Safia? I've been watching his older podcasts. Have you watched any of those? Where he just, the smallest is croaking. Okay, all righty. Hi, Mrs. Gigi. I'll be waving to you up in the balcony. Very cool. That's awesome. But thanks for saying hey. That's great. You know, Safia and I and many other people are following this guy, Nick. Oh man, I can't remember his last name. When he's doing a 5-day free, and that's the operative word here, free lesson, art lesson. Yeah. I haven't, when I'm not happy with it. Oh, yeah, that's true. Nicholas Winton. Thank you. Nicholas Winton. Yes. And so the first day was design, which was talking about shape and design. And really, it sounded more like composition, which I struggle with all the time. And yesterday's lesson was on values, 1 being white, 10 being black, but that doesn't have to be white, black and white. Hi, Sherry. And yeah. And the first painting I did, day 1, was a hot mess. But yesterday's, and I'll show it to you all, and feel obligated to, and it's shades of green, not black and white, but greens with a little bit of flowers in there. So I'll show it to you. So this is kind of like, I have a bush tree outside my window that I look at all the time. Now it's not this full, and occasionally there are little flowers on it, but I was looking at hi, Andrea, I was looking at the different shades of green. I went from light, dark to medium to light, and then same thing with the some of the flowers. This page was so bad that I gessoed over it, and I did white gesso, and I probably should have done black gesso, but he talked about that. But he's interesting because he was doing, it was one of his older podcasts, and he's just painting away and talking. Hi, Tori. And I think that would be an interesting thing to do, is just to get your paints out and paint while having a conversation. and not really pay attention to what you're putting down on the page. Of course, what he put down on the page was gorgeous. Beautiful colors and teals and pinks and just, abstract kind of stuff. But it's interesting. Yes, the podcasts. Yeah, I think so, because I just had it on the YouTube channel to watch the lesson, and I wasn't paying any attention. And eventually, after the ads, one of his podcasts popped up, and they're like, the numbers like episode 90 or episode 110. So they're from a while ago. So I just started watching those. Yeah, yeah. So I'm going to continue to work on my scavenger hunt. That's why I said I am hunting. Hi, Leslie. I think I don't know whether I said hi to you, but hi. I know I said hi to Tori and Andrea or Flo. Now I'm going to take credit for Flo. I think I'm the first one that typed in FLO for function of light one a long time ago, and it stuck, but I could be wrong. But I remember doing that, and maybe I got it from somebody else. So I'm getting down there. You notice one of the things is cartoon character, and I have the Linda Berry book, her textbook for the comics class that she taught, and in there she yes, yeah. She recommends Ivan Bernetti. And so I obviously went out and bought his book on the philosophy and practice of cartooning. And so I have to do a cartoon character. Now I have my own made up cartoon character that I've drawn, made up to represent me and my cat Lily, but I haven't come up with any dialogue. But this whole book is on cartooning, and very simple cartooning, literally drawing a circle and then adding a nose, and very simple, very basic. So if you can't draw, this would be something that you could cartoon about. And so I might look at that, but for now we were talking about, I keep on forgetting to draw my breakfast, and then someone in Dee Dee's stream said, well, take a picture or cut out a picture of cereal, or find a picture of a breakfast in a magazine. So I thought that's a great idea. Or just draw it out of my head. Well, drawing from my imagination is something that I don't do well. So I got where best to find a breakfast, but in Bon Appetit. But this is mostly dinner. They don't do breakfasts in Bon Appetit. But oh, that was you, Andrea? Okay. Yeah, well, I got out my Bon Appetits, and this is the only one I have, and I think I let my subscription expire. So I went through the whole magazine, and lo and behold, on the very last page, bingo, breakfast. How is that? Because we could have a whiskey daisy with breakfast, and they have some bourbon something or other. Baked mushroom rice porridge, that could be breakfast. But this was on the very back page, and look, eggs, toast, 2 hands. This was kind of the color of hands that he painted in the thing that I saw him paint. So I'm going to cut this out and stick it on and call it done. So thank you, Andrea, for the suggestion. Because I got to get rid of the barcode. There's barcodes on everything. Do you know on TV now that if they're selling you something, or they want you to donate to something, there's a barcode? You can hold your phone up to the barcode on your TV. I've never done it. And did you know also that if you are in Google uh, document or Google Slides, or you're making a Google product or creating something from the Google, suite, which is like Microsoft Word, if you click on right in the upper right hand corner, you can create a barcode for any document or drawing that you create in that Google Drive suite of things that, so you too can have on your own QR code. So we've got breakfast, and I don't know that we need that, but I do like the toast and the 2 eggs and the eggs on the plate. Now, I don't know whether I'd want my eggs to be, this eggs looks like it is surrounded by Kix cereal. Isn't the Kix that has all of the, I don't know whether I want my eggs served with Kix. Oh, I tell you what, I know a lot about it because I was I am a Google. Well, it's actually, I take that back. It's Chrome. It's in Chrome. It's in the Chrome app. And Chrome came out with an education packet that I used as a teacher. And oh my God, it was great. You could assign kids, you could even create quizzes, and it would grade the quizzes and enter the grades. And if you had an assignment, each kid had a folder, and say you had an assignment that you wanted them to do, it would push the assignment out to every kid's folder. And you would say, okay, kids, your homework is in your folder. And they would just go to their folder, open it. I mean, it was cool. But it's in Chrome. And I don't know what they call it. I know Microsoft calls their Word, but this is something else. Hi, Colleen. How you doing today? I'm trying to get the scavenger hunt done. I'm almost done. I'm really getting down to the wire. And Andrea suggested, since I always keep on forgetting to paint my breakfast, to cut out a picture of breakfast. And I found this beautiful picture of the breakfast on the very last page of my Bon Appetit magazine. So let's get that in the book. And the other thing I want to do, and I was looking at what's left to do, and artist trading card. I'm going to make an artist trading card out of what's left of the finger paint that I did last week. So that'll take care of repurpose your art. And what else? So that takes care of that. We'll do that as soon as I do this. And one of the other things is clothing, which I think is odd. I'm not sure what they mean by clothing. So what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to clothe my book in material. So that's going to be my take on clothing. I'm going to clothe this book in scraps of material. And I'll just glue them down. Okay, so here's a page that I kind of messed around with. So let's stick breakfast on that page. And that's true. Colleen's just not sitting around. She's sitting around and watching. You're doing, Colleen, you're doing fantastic. You really are. Now, as you said, this one is not as bad as the first one, but man, you are really showing a lot of grit. And that's what we need. More grit. Not grits, but grit. And you're showing a lot of grit. That's for sure. Now this is it, right? After you're all healed, you're all done then for your feet are going to be all better. All right, so breakfast is done. Yay! Let's cross off breakfast and find something. Draw your breakfast. Okay. And let's move on to song, lyric, and artist. Again, I just went to the internets and got the Yellow Submarine with the lyrics. I made a Yellow Submarine. That's the I made this. This is the closure for my Beatle album. It's got magnets and it closes the Beatle album I made. So I'm a fan of the Yellow Submarine. So I got the Yellow Submarine. And I have a Yellow Submarine up on my wall that I drew a couple of years ago. So we'll stick the Yellow Submarine in. Oh, that's it on the left foot, Colleen. So that implies that you're going to have something done also on the right foot. Is that what you're implying? Oh, I made a Beatles album. I made a Beatles journal, not and obviously Yellow Submarine is in it, but it's got all the Beatles songs in it. Now you're going to hear it, right? We all live in a yellow submarine, yellow submarine, yellow submarine. We all live in a yellow submarine. Do 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 do. I know it's going to be going through you. Oh my God. Right foot surgery on 2 toes fixed. Oh, from a surgery from about 8 years ago. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay. So you're done with the right foot, and this was just to take care of the left foot. That reminds me of a very famous, I guess it was a play. Then they made it a movie called My Left Foot, about an artist who he only had the use of his left foot. He was paralyzed. And Daniel Day-Lewis played the character. Christy Brown, I think, was the name of the man. True story. And they made a movie called My Left Foot. It's very good. Highly recommend it. Brutal what the guy went through. Let's see. The right toes will be about the pain level I have now. Oh my gosh. Now, how long are you waiting? What is the time frame? Oh my God, how do you make coq au vin without white wine? Actually, it's interesting because it's actually made with red wine. And that doesn't really make any sense because you don't usually use red wine with chicken. Oh, wow. Judi Dench was the queen. Oh my God. Hey, Carol, how are you? You marvelous, marvelous, fabulous looking lady. Hi, Kimberly. Okay, 2 or 3 months from now. Okay. All right. Okay. 2 or 3 months from now. So 2 or 3 months from now. So April, May, June-ish. June-ish. Are you going to try to get it done before summer comes? Or are you going to wait? When is the grandbaby due? I'm assuming you'd want to get that all out of the way before the grandson. Yeah, I did too. I thought you were done. I think this is my patterns page, but I think we'll just put the boys on this page. Well, yesterday during Colleen and Kathy's stream, we were all coming up with names for the grandbabies. The grandson, rather, I shouldn't say. There's one grandson. And I guess your son-in-law is very particular. He doesn't want any country names, and you think he's going to have little, he'll be all dressed up preppy. He'll have the little Izzard pink shirts on and khaki shorts. Okay, all right. Okay, that makes sense. You get that all out of the way, then that would be awesome. Yeah, you don't want to. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. All right. These aren't inspired, but they're done. I'm trying to think of a preppy name, though, a preppy boy's name. I mean, I taught at a very preppy school. I'm trying to think of the boys' names. They were kind of like normal name. Well, I don't know what a normal name is. My sons are David and Richard, so that's pretty straight. All right, so we got songs done, breakfast done. Now, greeting card. I had something else for greeting card. It was something that I made as a greeting card. What the heck did I do with that? When you guys, when you do this, you think you're all prepared, right? And then you have it all laid out. And I don't know what I did with it. And it was a greeting card. And it was my art too. Oh, Lordy, 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 Lordy. Oh, here's my finished paperclip thing and button. And this is some paper buttons I made. And I sewed they're paper buttons, and I sewed them on, so that takes care of sew. And I put one here and then one here. So those are my buttons. Oh, I'm sorry, Angie. And then here's another one of my tags. And that was my scrapey paint that I did with the scraper thing. But I don't know what I did with that. And I stuck these all over the place because I ended up making a whole bunch. Oh, that really upsets me. I don't know what I did with the greeting card. But whatever. Don't know what I did with it. I had it out and I thought, oh, great, I can use this as the greeting card. Well, oh well. When I'll find it when the stream is over. Well, I got a folder out of some of my older artwork. And I guess it was in there. I don't know though. Okay, so let's do stained glass again, not inspired. Thank you, Carol. You want to tell everybody, Carol, how long it took you to do the scavenger hunt book last year? Carol can tell you. I think it was yeah, it was a few days. Literally, I think it was like 4 days she was done. Yeah, it was like ridiculously fast. Ridiculously fast. You had to be the first one done. So I'm going to stick this right here. And for Valentine's, we'll have a Valentine's stained glass heart. So we'll have 2 stained glasses. I have to do a mosaic too. I might do that, you know, cut out little, you know, draw like an outline of something and then fill it in with little pieces of colored paper. But that's something that, you know, will be time consuming. I guess you call it paper piecing. Sometimes it's paper piecing. Aunt Bex has done some beautiful paper mosaics, I guess you would call them. Oh, she did 2 of, or maybe she did all 3 of her cats. And then she did a cat that her neighbor had or liked, and it came out gorgeous. Yes. That was our goal last year, the prompt ninja. Yeah. Not so much this year. The most I got on one page was incorporated was 8 prompts that made sense. I saw that you're doing fly tie. Now I did ask you, are you going to go fly fishing, or you're just making the ties? And I bet you could sell those too. I know you can. Oh, okay. You and your son? Oh, that's super. I saw that picture of you guys out in that snowstorm looking for rocks. Yeah, the guy that I worked for when I was a special ed aide before I became a teacher, he was a fly fisherman and he made fishing flies. And he used squirrel fur and deer fur and like turkey feathers and things like that that you could find out in the woods locally. And he taught some of the kids that were in the special ed class. If they were good, you know, he would teach them how to. It's such an art. It's such beautiful art. I guess we'll put this up here in the corner. All right. Okay. So, are you going to do some goal planning? Yeah, I was surprised. You ran those rocks through a rock tumbler once, and they were pretty smooth even after one go around. He's not part of the family. I was told that I was going to watch him by his mom. Oh, wow. I'm sorry he's giving you such a hard time, Angie. Gratitude page. Nope. Treasure hunt map. I have a thing on, Valentine. I got the Valentine. Isn't this fun to just watch, just to cross these off? Yeah. And the greeting card that I was going to use had watercolor. Oh, that makes me mad. something tea. I have no idea what that means. However, I'm going to do a tea stain because I figured that's something tea. Huh. It's an interesting title. Oh, wow. He was a young American chap. Let me see. Let me see. I need to make another page. Here comes the mailman. Yeah, I got another thing. Let me glue this down. I'm really happy that I did, use these as to cover the white. It's not really a great one, but let me see. Do I have any others here? Let's see. Ooh, I like this better because I don't want. How about this is a nice background page? How's that for a background page? Yeah, I like that. That's a good one. Okay. I was watching Dee Dee this morning with Cam, and I thought to myself, how wonderful it is that he comes down and they have such a great relationship. On his day off, he drives down to Dee Dee's and they sit there and do art together. How awesome is that? Really. I just think that is such a cool thing. It really is, it's so cool. I've done art with my grandsons when they're, when I'm with them, but it's not very often that I'm with them physically because they're so far away. Yeah, you're going to be lucky, Colleen, because your grandson is going to be close by. I've never had that luxury. All I can say is thank God for FaceTime. Yes. Yeah, that's very, yeah. Hi, Aunt Bex. Yes, I agree with you. He's very talented and he's very assured. Yes. Nothing phases him. Nothing. He just keeps on going, Oh, I'm sorry, Angie. Maybe we can be a distraction. A wee bit of a distraction, right? Have you seen the people who have taken these composition books and altered them and made them, really into really cool journals? I did that once. I think I told everyone the story that a gal that I had hired to teach history at Holy Trinity, she was getting married, and I made a junk journal, but I made it out of a composition notebook, which I cut down to make it a little bit smaller. And I had the typical junk journal pages in there with the decoration, lace on some of the pages and pockets and knickknacks and, the typical junk mail, junk journal kind of ephemera. And then I announced to the faculty that, without her knowing, that I had made this book and would they please, sign it, pick any page and sign it. And if they were so inclined to, leave a gift card or, as something as a gift in the journal, that would be great. So I stuck it in one teacher's mailbox and I let it go. Hi, Gail. And it circulated around the school. And every once in a while, I would send an email out, none that, that she couldn't see, about where the book was, because it would get hung up. And so I finally tracked it down to I guess the vice principal's, well, maybe it was the principal's office. And I said, come on, And she said, oh, I'm so sorry. I just got so into looking at this. I've never seen anything like this. No one had, which I thought was surprising. No one had ever seen anything like that at all. So they were all taking their looking through it. And so when I gave it to her, I said, be really, really careful. You need to go through it very carefully, because I think there was over $300 in there. Cash, gift cards, whatever. But there was about over $300 in gifts hidden in the junk journal in various spots. I saw that Carol disappeared and then came back. Yep. I saw that. I knew it was Carol. All right, so this is my page for the prompt that says, something tea. Something tea. I don't know. I have lots of tea bags. However, I had tea this morning. Yes, she's going. I had tea this morning. When I have tea in the morning, I have Irish breakfast tea, because I want as much caffeine as I can get, to keep an eye on the time. So I'm going to, I have a stencil. And all I can say is it better be here, because I'm going to, I'll be so mad. Oh, there it is. Okay. And this is a stencil I cut out. I made this stencil. The tricky thing about doing circles is you obviously have to keep little bridges, otherwise you just end up with a. And I made this to kind of look like a coffee stain, this here. So let's dip into my tea. I now make a pot rather than just a mug for me. Yeah. Well, my grandfather used to, I would want his coffee and they would make, and I guess this is a Rhode Island thing. They call it coffee milk, and it's more milk than it is coffee, but that's what I had, was coffee milk. It was a very watered down version of coffee. I mean, milk down. All right, let's see if we'll get a stain here. I hope we get something here, a little something. And now I got to remember not to drink it. Now we'll do a couple of stars. What the heck? Let's see. Oh, look at that. That's not bad at all. If the teen wakes you, all share it. Okay, yeah. My sons never really got into drinking coffee, at least not in their informative years. I don't know whether they. Oh, I like the way that bled. Look how that bled. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's do a. There. Whoops. Okay. Tea. There you go. That was easy enough. Gotta clean this mess up though. I highly recommend making stencils because it's a lot of fun. Boy, that looks good too. I'm going to use this because it's got the ring action on it though. All right. So that's my tea. Yeah, I have iced coffee. That's normally what I drink. I make a big pot of, yeah, it does with all this brown. I make a big pot of coffee. I have an old-fashioned Farberware percolator that makes 8 cups of coffee. And I'll make a whole pot of that, and then I'll have the first day obviously hot, and then I put it in a glass container and keep it in the refrigerator, and then I have iced coffee for the rest of the week because it's Florida. And I am sad to say, I think AC days without AC are rapidly coming to an end. I think we're going to maybe squeeze out a couple of days before the AC is going to be on full blast from now until next November. Makes me very sad. I like the way that came out. All right. Something tea. Okay. You ask and you shall receive. Man, I wish I knew. I had it and I looked at it and I thought, okay, that's it. That'll be the greeting card. I didn't stick it in here. Oh, it's not here. It's not there. Let me look on the floor. You know, sometimes you put something down on the floor and then you put something on top of it. And then after the stream, when you go to clean up, you go, oh, there it is. But no, that's okay. That's all right. No. And you have some of the plastic. Yeah, that laminate stuff is pretty heavy duty. I use the, a lot of packaging for the stencils. I don't have a piece of it. I usually have a piece of it laying around somewhere. Honesty's saying breakfast. I love this though. I think I showed this on Sunday, but I love the quote, if you can see it. It says, hold on, let me overthink this. I mean, that's got everything. It's got a t-shirt and it's got snark. And I love it. Her eyes are closed. I just think that's a really funny one. Hold on, let me overthink this. Oh, speaking of overthinking, I am going to briefly share with you my saga on trying to fight City Hall in terms of probate. Let me tell you the story. Wait a minute, let me just look here real quick to see if that's here by any means, by any chance now. Okay. All right. So Monday afternoon, I decided I was going to drive over to the courthouse and start the probate process, right? So I get there and you have to go through security, and there was a family in front of me and they had all sorts of issues and it looked like it was going to take forever, but there was a gentleman there who kind of motioned to me to come over to where he was, and he got me through security. And he said, "Do you know where you're going?" And I said, "No." I said, I'm looking for probate." And then he pointed me, go to the left. So I went to the left and there was a room and you took a number and then you sat down. So I took a number. My number was 39 and they were dealing with number 28. I figured, oh boy. So I sat there, and it went pretty fast. And by the time they called up to me, I told them that I was wanting to start the probate process. And she said, "Oh, we'll go through that door." So I didn't even have to wait. If I had known that, I could have gone straight to probate. So I went through that room, went into another room, and the woman said, "What can I do for you? I'm looking for probate." "Oh, she's over in, hi, Yolan." And she's over there at window 5. So I went over there and sat down, right? And she wasn't there. There's nobody there. I'm thinking, what a gig, You sit there all day and then you get up and take a leisurely break. Anyway, I sat there probably for a good 5 minutes. And she showed up. And I said I was there to start the probate process, right? And she whipped out a little sheet. And she handed me this. Okay, you need a summary administration without a will, death certificate, copy is fine, any supporting documents, $345, and one self-addressed stamp, petition for summary administration, and order of summary of administration, right? So she said, now you've got to go to the law library to get this. No, this is actually on found money. This was money that was not distributed in my mother's estate. It was found money. And now it's been distributed to my sister, myself, and my sister-in-law. But my younger brother, who is now deceased, he gets a quarter of it. And that's the probate, because it was over $10,000. His quarter of it has to go through this stupid probate process. And of course, he didn't leave a will. So that's what I'm in the process of trying to get. So she sends me to the law library, which is at the other end of the building. So I go down to the law library. And I tell the woman what I need, and she says, fine, you have to give me $11.55. And I said, well, do you take a credit card? Oh, no, we don't take credit cards, cash only. Well, I had $10 in cash. I had two $5 bills. And I said to her, as nicely as I could, I said, and where would one find that information out so one could come prepared with $11.55 in cash? And what she did was she just shrugged her shoulders like, I don't know, and I don't give a shit. So fortunately, I only live about 4 or 5 miles from the courthouse. So I got in the car, came home, fed Lily, turned around, and drove back with $11.55. Then she hands me I mean, I guess I got my money's worth, right? I don't know. This is what she hands me. look at this packet. And out of this, I got a bunch of really neat clips and paper clips. And I was under the impression that she might go through this with me, but all she said was, be sure to make copies of any of these forms before you fill them out, just in case you make a mistake. No, not even a debit card. That's why I asked her that. I said, not even a debit card? Nope. So I started, and then some of these forms, this is a book, for Christ, literally a book on probate and settle an estate in Florida, 6th edition. These are all of the codes from chapter 735. These are all the forms, and some of these forms don't pertain to me. Right, yes, exactly. So I took it and I came home, and she said her advice was to be sure I read all of this before I even started to fill out the forms. I basically paid for the printing of the packet, yeah. But some of this stuff is unbelievable. I'm just going to read you. I don't think I have to fill this out. This is affidavit of heirs. Now, my brother never married, so there's no heirs. But if there were heirs, you would have to, I am related to the descendant as follows. Sister, I've known the descendant for, it would be all my life, right? And then you fill out this thing for the spouse of the descendant. And if the spouse is dead, indicate name and date of death. Descendant's former spouse due to death or divorce. You've got to give them their name and address. And then it goes on. Children of the descendant or descendants of deceased children, please provide name, age, and address. If any of the children are deceased, please indicate name and date of death. In addition, please indicate if descendant has any grandchildren from pre-deceased children and specify their name and age and address. If any of the children are not biologically related to both the decedent and the decedent's spouse at the time of the decedent's death, please provide the name of that particular child's other biological parent. Do you believe this bullshit? Parents of decedent, please provide name, age, and address. If the parents are deceased, please indicate name and date of death. Siblings of decedent, that would be me. Please indicate if the relationship is that of a half relative, half brother, or half sister. Please provide name, age, address of the decedent's siblings. If any of the siblings are deceased, please indicate name and date of death. In addition, list the children of pre-deceased siblings, if any. Oh my God. Is that the most ridiculous thing have you ever seen after that? Oh, and then it's grandparents. And then finally, if there are any relatives who have survived the decedent and are not listed in categories specified above, please provide name, relationship to decedent, age, and address. Please attach additional pages if necessary. Under penalties of perjury, I declare I have read the foregoing affidavit of heirs and facts stated herein are true and correct to the best of my knowledge. You know, all I have to say is, fuck you. I'm sorry. How ridiculous is that? And yeah, there you go. And previous pets. Yes. I know. And I don't think I have to fill that form out. Because it's not on the checklist. I did call the lawyer that wanted $4,200 to do this, and I canceled that appointment. I know this is crazy, right? But I am going to attempt to do this myself because I don't want to give a friggin' lawyer a minimum of $4,200. to do this. And I don't think I have to fill this out, but you have to weed through all of this stuff. Um, and then apparently, once I fill this all out, I mail it in, and then they'll get back to me. And if it's anything like the division of unclaimed monies, if I don't have it right, they'll get back to me and say, hey, you didn't get it right. You need to do this. And I'll do that, and I'll mail it in again. And if I didn't get it right, they'll mail it back to me and say, nope, you didn't get it right. And I'll keep doing it until I get it right. And I realize there's no time frame on this because the initial case, the time has run out, right? They've closed that case. And according to the woman that was the caseworker for that case, said that when this is settled, they would reopen the case and then distribute his quarter of the found money. I mean, this is, or I can just let the state of Florida keep it, which really pisses me off. And it pisses me off that, anyway, I just thought I would share with you some of the ridiculousness of all of this. I mean, it just goes on and on. Here's the checklist. And in here, it doesn't say, and the only good thing here, since he's been dead for over 2 years, is that I don't have to, if he owed anybody any money, the time has lapsed. So I don't have to do the creditor thing. But I had to read real deep into this. I'm sure that's what happens, Safia. I wonder how many people just start going through this and just say, oh, screw it, keep it. Or pay a lawyer. Now, Shelley, Crafting Mama Shelley, she found me a lawyer. God bless her. She just went on, Google the lawyer in Brevard County, right? And they do it at about $1,000 to $1,500. But the bastard never called me back. Now, could I call him? I could call him. But I figured if he can't call back, then how reliable is he going to be? But the story will continue. But for right now, I am so pissed off and frustrated, and I just realized that there's no time frame here. And so if I do it a year from now, I do it a year from now. Because that money that we got from my mom's estate, my mom died in 2016. 2016. We found out about the money in 2023. So I know I hate filling out forms too. And there are non-legal. Well, there's another whole thing in here where you have a non-attorney email release. That's another whole form about you have to give them your. I mean, this is like you need a magnifying glass for some of this shit. And creditors, notice to creditors. Well, any creditor, they're out of luck. Small estate summary. Yeah. Anyway, it'll be interesting. And I'll just file that with the rest of the stuff. That's good. When my granny passed away, kids got the house. So last year, my uncle passed away. So he gave his part of the house to my cousin. So I'm asking by right, should his part go to the oldest grandkid? Well, if he had a will, Angie, if he had a will, and in the will he specifies that his part of the house goes to the cousin, then it would go to the cousin. This is because my brother did not have a will. And my brother had a will. If you have a will, you don't have to go through this. You don't have to go through probate, or it's much easier. You just give the court the will, and that's it. All of this bullshit is because my brother didn't have a will. And of course, he wouldn't have a will. If you knew him, you would understand. Of course, he didn't have a will. This is a guy who was literally smoking on his way to chemo for throat cancer. That should basically tell you all you need to know about my brother. And he would give you the shirt off his back. But 9 times out of 10, he didn't even have a shirt to give you, but he would give it to you. That was just the kind of guy he was. And there's another problem there. I would have to lie on this and kind of say, yeah, he lived in Brevard County, kind of on and off. He really lived most of his life in St. Thomas, but I didn't even want to open that can of worms because now we're not even in the country. I have an expired driver's license that puts his address right here. And I have another piece of mail that puts him in Brevard County. So it gets even more interesting. So I don't know. With that, I'm going to say goodbye. And because he isn't married and has one estranged son who may even be jailed for all, well, you know, it's so easy to make a will. You know, it's not really that hard. I mean, you can even download a will online and get it notarized, but it makes things so much easier, you know. It's interesting because in every piece of paper that I've come across, there's only a couple of pieces of paper that I've come across, is basically says that in case of emergency, contact me. You know, so anyway, time for supper. And I'm off to bridge. And we haven't played bridge in a whole week, so I have forgotten a whole lot about bridge. I haven't even thought about it. I know. I mean, you've got to laugh, right? And thank you for listening to me rant and rave. And thank you for letting me read to you the ridiculousness of, you know, the affidavit of heirs. And I just wonder how many people actually fill that all out. It would be interesting. So you take care. And again, if you can't be good, be careful. And if you can't be careful, be interesting. Someone along the line added be interesting, which I just love. So take care. Bye-bye.